Measures for the prevention and control of chemical weapons in war. Chemical weapons have been used in various conflicts throughout history, causing immense suffering and death. In response to this threat, various international treaties and agreements have been established to prevent the use and proliferation of chemical weapons. One of the most important international treaties in this area is the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, which was adopted in 1993 and entered into force in 1997. The CWC prohibits the development, production, acquisition, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons, and requires the destruction of all existing chemical weapons stockpiles and production facilities. The CWC has been instrumental in reducing the threat of chemical weapons in conflicts around the world. Since its entry into force, over 97% of declared chemical weapons stockpiles have been destroyed, and the production of new chemical weapons has been largely eradicated. In addition to the CWC, various other international agreements and protocols have been established to prevent the use and proliferation of chemical weapons. These include the Biological Weapons Convention, BWC, the Nuclear Nonproliferation Treaty, NPT, and the Hague Code of Conduct Against Ballistic Missile Proliferation. The BWC prohibits the development, production, and stockpiling of biological weapons, and requires the destruction of all existing biological weapons stockpiles and production facilities. The NPT aims to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and promote disarmament, while the Hague Code of Conduct seeks to prevent the proliferation of ballistic missiles. To ensure compliance with these treaties and agreements, various measures have been established to monitor and verify compliance. These include inspections and monitoring by international organizations, such as the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW, as well as national programs to monitor and control the production, storage, and use of chemical weapons. The OPCW is responsible for verifying compliance with the CWC, and has conducted numerous inspections and investigations around the world to ensure that chemical weapons are not being developed, produced, or used. The OPCW also provides assistance and advice to member states on the destruction of chemical weapons stockpiles and production facilities. In addition to these international efforts, various national and regional measures have also been established to prevent the use and proliferation of chemical weapons. These include export controls on sensitive materials and technologies, as well as measures to secure and protect chemical facilities and stockpiles. Many countries have established national programs to monitor and control the production, storage, and use of chemical weapons, and to respond to the threat of chemical weapons in conflicts. These programs include the development of specialized units, such as the Chemical Corps in the United States, to respond to chemical weapons attacks and provide medical assistance to victims. Furthermore, various measures have been established to respond to the use of chemical weapons in conflicts. These include the provision of medical treatment and assistance to victims of chemical weapons attacks, as well as measures to identify and hold accountable those responsible for the use of chemical weapons. The use of chemical weapons in conflicts remains a serious threat to global security and stability. Despite the progress made in preventing and controlling the use and proliferation of chemical weapons, there is still much work to be done to ensure that these weapons are never used again. Ongoing efforts are needed to ensure compliance with international treaties and agreements, to monitor and control the production, storage, and use of chemical weapons, and to respond effectively to the threat of chemical weapons in conflicts. In addition, efforts are needed to promote awareness and understanding of the dangers of chemical weapons, and to encourage the development of alternative means of conflict resolution that do not involve the use of these weapons. One of the challenges in preventing and controlling the use and proliferation of chemical weapons is the difficulty in detecting and identifying these weapons. Chemical weapons can be difficult to detect, as they are often odorless and colorless, and can be easily concealed. To address this challenge, various technologies and methods have been developed to detect and identify chemical weapons. These include sensors and detectors that can detect the presence of chemical agents, as well as analytical methods that can identify the specific type of chemical agent. In addition, various training programs and exercises have been established to improve the ability of military and civilian personnel to detect and respond to the threat of chemical weapons. These programs include training in the use of protective equipment, as well as exercises to simulate chemical weapons attacks and test response capabilities. Another challenge in preventing and controlling the use and proliferation of chemical weapons is the risk of non-state actors obtaining and using these weapons. Non-state actors, such as terrorist organizations, may seek to acquire chemical weapons in order to carry out attacks on civilians or military targets. To address this threat, various measures have been established to prevent the illicit trafficking of chemical weapons and related materials, as well as to improve the security of chemical facilities and materials. These measures include export controls and border security measures, as well as programs to secure and protect chemical facilities and stockpiles. Furthermore, efforts are needed to promote international cooperation and information sharing to prevent the spread of chemical weapons and related materials. This includes sharing information on illicit trafficking and suspicious activity, as well as improving the ability of countries to detect and respond to the threat of chemical weapons. In addition to these measures, the promotion of disarmament and the development of alternative means of conflict resolution are key to preventing and controlling the use and proliferation of chemical weapons. Disarmament efforts can help reduce the overall stockpiles of chemical weapons, while the development of alternative means of conflict resolution, such as diplomacy and mediation, can help prevent the use of these weapons in conflicts. Another challenge in preventing and controlling the use and proliferation of chemical weapons is the potential for new and emerging chemical threats. Advances in science and technology have led to the development of new chemical agents and delivery systems, which may pose new challenges for detection and control. To address this challenge, ongoing research and development are needed to improve the ability to detect and respond to new and emerging chemical threats. This includes the development of new sensors and detectors, as well as analytical methods to identify new chemical agents. In addition, efforts are needed to improve the international response to chemical weapons attacks. This includes improving the ability of countries to share information and coordinate responses to chemical weapons attacks, as well as improving the provision of medical assistance and support to victims. Furthermore, efforts are needed to promote awareness and understanding of the dangers of chemical weapons, and to encourage the development of norms and values that reject the use of these weapons. This includes education and outreach programs to promote awareness of the risks of chemical weapons, as well as efforts to promote international norms and values that reject the use of these weapons. The role of civil society and non-governmental organizations, NGOs, is also important in preventing and controlling the use and proliferation of chemical weapons. NGOs can play a key role in promoting awareness and understanding of the dangers of chemical weapons, as well as in promoting disarmament and the development of alternative means of conflict resolution. Applications of organic compounds in the manufacture and use of textile and interior products, including synthetic fibers and decorative materials. Organic compounds are widely used in the manufacturing and production of textiles and interior design products, including synthetic fibers and decorative materials. These compounds offer a range of properties and characteristics that make them ideal for use in these applications. One of the most important applications of organic compounds in the textile industry is the production of synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers, such as polyester and nylon, offer a range of advantages over natural fibers, including greater durability, resistance to moisture and chemicals, and ease of care. Polyester, for example, is a versatile synthetic fiber that is widely used in the textile industry due to its excellent strength and durability. It is also resistant to wrinkles, shrinking, and fading, making it an ideal choice for a wide range of applications, from clothing and upholstery to outdoor fabrics and carpets. Nylon is another important synthetic fiber that is widely used in the textile industry. It is known for its exceptional strength and elasticity, as well as its resistance to abrasion, chemicals, and moisture. Nylon is often used in the production of hosiery, swimwear, and lingerie, as well as in outdoor fabrics and carpets. In addition to synthetic fibers, organic compounds are also used in the production of other textile materials, such as coatings, finishes, and dyes. These materials can enhance the appearance, durability, and functionality of textiles, and offer a range of properties that are not found in natural fibers. Coatings and finishes, for example, can be used to make fabrics water-resistant, flame-retardant, or stain-resistant, depending on the desired application. These coatings and finishes can be applied to a wide range of fabrics, including cotton, wool, and synthetic fibers. Dyes are also an important application of organic compounds in the textile industry. Dyes can be used to add color to a wide range of fabrics, and offer a range of properties, such as resistance to fading, bleeding, and washing. They can also be used to create unique patterns and designs on fabrics, and can be applied using a range of techniques, such as dip dyeing, screen printing, and digital printing. Outside of the textile industry, organic compounds are also widely used in the production of interior design products, such as decorative materials and finishes. These materials offer a range of properties that make them ideal for use in interior design applications, including durability, resistance to moisture and chemicals, and ease of care. Vinyl, for example, is a synthetic material that is commonly used in the production of wall coverings, flooring, and upholstery. It is known for its excellent durability and resistance to moisture and chemicals, as well as its ease of maintenance. Polyurethane is another important organic compound that is commonly used in interior design applications. It is often used as a coating or finish for wood, metal, and plastic surfaces, and offers excellent resistance to abrasion, chemicals, and moisture. However, the use of organic compounds in the textile and interior design industries has also raised concerns about their environmental impact. Many of these compounds are not biodegradable and persist in the environment for many years, contributing to pollution and other environmental problems. To address these concerns, efforts are underway to develop more sustainable and eco-friendly alternatives to traditional organic compounds. This includes the development of new materials and production methods that reduce the use of harmful chemicals and minimize waste and pollution. For example, some textile manufacturers are exploring the use of natural fibers, such as cotton, linen, and hemp, as alternatives to synthetic fibers. These natural fibers are biodegradable and renewable, and can be produced using more sustainable agricultural practices. Another area of concern regarding the use of organic compounds in the textile and interior design industries is their potential impact on human health. Many of these compounds are associated with health risks, such as respiratory problems, skin irritation, and even cancer. To address these concerns, there are regulations and standards in place to limit the use of harmful chemicals in these industries. For example, the Global Organic Textile Standard, GOTS, sets strict limits on the use of certain chemicals in the production of organic textiles, and requires the use of safe and non-toxic materials and methods. In addition, there is growing interest in the development of eco-friendly and health-conscious products, which are designed to minimize the use of harmful chemicals and reduce the risk of health problems. This includes the development of organic and natural products, which are made from non-toxic and biodegradable materials. Furthermore, there is a growing trend towards transparency and accountability in the textile and interior design industries, with many companies and organizations working to provide more information about the materials and methods used in the production of their products. This includes the use of eco-labels and certifications, which provide consumers with information about the environmental and health impacts of products. Another important consideration regarding the use of organic compounds in the textile and interior design industries is the social impact of their production. The production of these compounds often involves the use of hazardous chemicals and can have significant environmental and social impacts, particularly in developing countries where regulations and labor standards may be weaker. To address these concerns, there are a number of initiatives and programs in place to promote fair and responsible production practices in these industries. This includes the development of fair trade and ethical sourcing programs, which aim to ensure that workers are paid fairly and work in safe and healthy conditions. In addition, there are initiatives to promote the use of sustainable and socially responsible materials and production methods, such as the use of organic cotton and other natural fibers, and the adoption of eco-friendly and socially responsible production practices. Furthermore, there is growing awareness and interest in the concept of circular economy, which aims to minimize waste and maximize the reuse and recycling of materials. By adopting circular economy principles, companies can reduce their environmental impact and promote more sustainable and responsible production practices. In addition to the social impact of organic compound production, there is also the issue of waste and pollution generated from the use of these materials. The textile and interior design industries are known for their high levels of waste and pollution, with organic compounds contributing to this problem. To address this issue, there are a number of initiatives and programs in place to promote more sustainable and responsible waste management practices in these industries. This includes the development of recycling and upcycling programs, which aim to reduce the amount of waste generated from textile and interior design products. In addition, there is growing interest in the use of biodegradable and compostable materials in these industries, which can break down naturally and reduce the amount of waste generated. This includes the use of natural fibers and materials, such as bamboo, hemp, and cork, which are biodegradable and renewable. Furthermore, there are initiatives to promote the use of renewable energy sources and reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with the production of organic compounds. This includes the adoption of renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, and the implementation of energy efficiency measures to reduce energy consumption. Finally, another important consideration regarding the use of organic compounds in the textile and interior design industries is the need to promote responsible consumer behavior. While the production of these materials can have significant environmental and social impacts, it is ultimately up to consumers to make responsible choices and reduce their impact on the environment. To promote responsible consumer behavior, there are a number of initiatives and programs in place to raise awareness about the environmental and social impacts of textile and interior design products.
Espionage and intelligence activities involve gathering information about the chemical weapons programs of different countries. Espionage and intelligence activities related to the collection of information about the chemical weapons programs of different countries have been a major concern for many governments and international organizations. The use of chemical weapons has been banned under international law, and the possession and development of these weapons is closely monitored and regulated by the international community. Therefore, the gathering of accurate and timely information about these programs is of utmost importance to ensure global security and prevent the use of chemical weapons. One of the main methods of gathering intelligence about chemical weapons programs is through human intelligence, HUMINT, activities. This involves the use of spies or agents to gather information from insiders, such as government officials, scientists, or technicians, who have access to sensitive information about chemical weapons programs. Human activities can be extremely valuable and can provide detailed and accurate information about the capabilities, intentions, and vulnerabilities of different countries' chemical weapons programs. Another important method of gathering intelligence about chemical weapons programs is through technical intelligence, TECHINT, activities. This involves the use of technical means, such as satellite imagery, electronic surveillance, and other advanced technologies, to gather information about the development, production, and deployment of chemical weapons. TECHINT activities can provide important information about the size, location, and activities of chemical weapons facilities, as well as the types of weapons being developed or produced. In addition to these methods, there are also efforts to acquire information about chemical weapons programs through open sources, such as news articles, academic publications, and public statements by government officials. While this information may be less detailed and less reliable than information obtained through HUMINT and TECHINT activities, it can still provide valuable insights into the activities and intentions of different countries' chemical weapons programs. However, the collection of information about chemical weapons programs is not without its challenges and risks. The use of espionage and intelligence activities can be controversial and constrain diplomatic relations between countries. In addition, spies and agents who are caught can face severe penalties, including imprisonment or even execution. Furthermore, the use of these methods can raise ethical questions about the rights of individuals to privacy and the potential for abuse of power. To address these challenges and risks, There are international laws and regulations in place to govern the use of espionage and intelligence activities, particularly when it comes to the collection of information about chemical weapons programs. The Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, for example, prohibits the use of chemical weapons and regulates the possession and development of these weapons by member countries. The CWC also includes provisions related to the use of human and techent activities, and requires member countries to cooperate with each other in the collection and sharing of information about chemical weapons programs. Despite the importance of gathering information about chemical weapons programs, there have been instances where this information has been used for malicious purposes. For example, some countries have been accused of using the information they have gathered to develop their own chemical weapons programs or to gain an advantage in negotiations related to disarmament or nonproliferation. To address these concerns, there are a number of initiatives and programs in place to promote responsible and ethical behavior when it comes to the collection and use of information about chemical weapons programs. This includes the development of codes of conduct for intelligence and espionage activities, which outline ethical and legal guidelines for the collection and use of information. In addition, there are efforts to promote transparency and cooperation in the area of chemical weapons disarmament and nonproliferation. This includes the development of multilateral agreements, such as the CWC, which provide a framework for international cooperation and verification related to chemical weapons. These agreements also provide a means for countries to share information about their chemical weapons programs in a transparent and responsible manner. Furthermore, there is growing interest in the use of open source intelligence, OSINT, as a means of gathering information about chemical weapons programs. OSINT involves the collection and analysis of publicly available information, such as news articles, social media posts, and other online sources. While OSINT may not provide the same level of detail as human or techent activities, it can still provide valuable insights into the activities and intentions of different countries' chemical weapons programs. Another important consideration when it comes to the collection of information about chemical weapons programs is the need to protect against the theft or misuse of this information. Chemical weapons information is highly sensitive and can be used to develop or produce chemical weapons, or to identify vulnerabilities in the defenses of countries with chemical weapons programs. To address these concerns, there are a number of measures in place to protect against the theft or misuse of chemical weapons information. This includes the development of secure communication channels and systems for the exchange of sensitive information, as well as the use of encryption and other security measures to protect against unauthorized access or interception. In addition, there are efforts to promote responsible behavior when it comes to the handling and use of chemical weapons information. This includes the development of training programs and guidelines for those involved in the collection, analysis, and dissemination of information about chemical weapons programs. Furthermore, there is growing interest in the use of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, as a means of analyzing and interpreting large amounts of chemical weapons information. AI and ML can help to identify patterns and trends in this information, and can provide valuable insights into the activities and intentions of different countries' chemical weapons programs. Another challenge when it comes to the collection of information about chemical weapons programs is the fact that some countries may be reluctant to share information or cooperate with international efforts to monitor and verify their chemical weapons activities. This can make it difficult to gather accurate and timely information about these programs, and can lead to suspicion and mistrust between countries. To address these challenges, there are a number of initiatives and programs in place to promote cooperation and transparency in the area of chemical weapons disarmament and non-proliferation. This includes the development of multilateral agreements, such as the CWC, which provide a framework for international cooperation and verification related to chemical weapons. The CWC requires member countries to declare and destroy their chemical weapons stockpiles and production facilities, and provides for routine inspections to verify compliance. In addition, there are efforts to promote confidence-building measures, CBMS, between countries with chemical weapons programs. CBMS can include measures such as the exchange of data, visits to chemical weapons facilities, and joint exercises to test and verify the effectiveness of chemical weapons disarmament. These measures can help to build trust and cooperation between countries, and can promote the sharing of information and the development of joint strategies to address the threat of chemical weapons. Furthermore, there is growing interest in the use of international organizations and forums, such as the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW, to promote cooperation and transparency in the area of chemical weapons disarmament and non-proliferation. The OPCW is responsible for implementing the CWC and verifying compliance with its provisions.
Chemical reactions and manufacturing processes in the industrial production and use of polymeric materials such as polyvinyl alcohol and polyvinyl acetate. Chemical reactions and production processes play a crucial role in the manufacturing and usage of various polymer materials, such as polyvinyl alcohol, PA, and polyvinyl acetate, POTS. These materials are widely used in a range of industrial applications, including adhesives, coatings, films, and textiles. Polyvinyl alcohol, also known as PO, is a water-soluble polymer that is produced through the hydrolysis of polyvinyl acetate. This process involves the use of a catalyst, such as sodium hydroxide, to break the ester bonds in POTS and form hydroxyl groups, O, on the polymer chain. The resulting PO polymer has excellent water solubility, adhesive properties, and film forming ability, making it ideal for use in a range of applications. In addition to hydrolysis, PO can also be produced through the polymerization of vinyl acetate in the presence of a free radical initiator, followed by the hydrolysis of the resulting polyvinyl acetate polymer. This process is known as the saponification process and is commonly used to produce PO with varying degrees of hydrolysis. Polyvinyl acetate, on the other hand, is a thermoplastic polymer that is commonly used as a binder in adhesives, paints, and coatings. POTS is produced through the polymerization of vinyl acetate monomers in the presence of a free radical initiator, such as benzoyl peroxide or azabicisibutyrynitrile. This process can be carried out in either solution or emulsion, depending on the desired properties of the resulting polymer. In solution polymerization, vinyl acetate monomers are dissolved in a solvent, such as toluene or methyl ethyl ketone, and then polymerized in the presence of a free radical initiator. The resulting PFAS polymer is typically used in applications where high molecular weight and low residual monomer content are important. In emulsion polymerization, vinyl acetate monomers are dispersed in water along with a surfactant and a free radical initiator. The resulting PFAS emulsion can be used in a range of applications, including adhesives, coatings, and paper coatings. Once produced, PFA and POTS can be further modified or processed to enhance their properties and performance in specific applications. For example, PFA can be cross-linked with a cross-linking agent, such as formaldehyde or glutaraldehyde, to improve its mechanical strength and water resistance. PFAS can be blended with other polymers or additives, such as plasticizers or pigments, to modify its properties and appearance. The production and usage of PFA and POTS also raise important environmental and health considerations. The production of these materials involves the use of hazardous chemicals, such as sodium hydroxide and vinyl acetate, which can pose a risk to human health and the environment if not handled properly. In addition, the disposal of PFA and POTS waste products can contribute to environmental pollution and waste management challenges. To address these concerns, there are ongoing efforts to develop more sustainable and environmentally friendly production processes for PFA and POTS, as well as to promote the recycling and reuse of these materials. For example, PFA can be recycled through a process known as dissolution precipitation recycling, which involves dissolving the polymer in water and then precipitating it out using a chemical such as methanol. PFAS can be recycled through a range of methods, including mechanical recycling, chemical recycling, and feedstock recycling. In addition to their usage in industrial applications, PFA and POTS also have a wide range of potential applications in biomedical and pharmaceutical fields. These materials have shown promise as drug delivery systems, tissue engineering scaffolds, and wound dressings. PFA, in particular, has been extensively studied for its biomedical applications due to its biocompatibility, non-toxicity, and water solubility. PFA hydrogels, for example, have been used as drug delivery systems for a range of drugs, including anti-cancer agents, antibiotics, and anti-inflammatory agents. PFA hydrogels can also be modified with functional groups, such as carboxylic acid or amine groups, to improve their drug loading and release properties. POTS, on the other hand, has been studied for its potential as a tissue engineering scaffold due to its biodegradability and biocompatibility. POTS scaffolds can be produced through a range of techniques, including electrospinning and electrospun nanofiber fabrication. These scaffolds can be further functionalized with bioactive molecules, such as growth factors or extracellular matrix proteins, to promote cell adhesion and proliferation. In addition to their potential applications in drug delivery and tissue engineering, PFA and POTS also have potential as wound dressings. PFA hydrogels, for example, have been used as wound dressings due to their ability to absorb and retain large amounts of water, which can help to promote wound healing. POTS, on the other hand, has been studied as a potential wound dressing material due to its ability to form a waterproof film upon drying, which can help to protect the wound from bacterial infection and promote healing. While the potential biomedical and pharmaceutical applications of PFA and POTS are promising, there are also challenges to their usage in these fields. For example, the hydrophilic nature of PFA can make it difficult to maintain its structure and stability in physiological environments. PFAS, on the other hand, can be difficult to control in terms of its degradation rate, which can impact its usefulness as a tissue engineering scaffold. Furthermore, the use of PA and POTS in the packaging industry is also significant. These materials are commonly used as coatings for food packaging, such as paper and paperboard, to improve their barrier properties and protect the contents from moisture and oxygen. PA coatings, for example, have been shown to be effective in improving the barrier properties of paper and paperboard packaging. PA coatings can also be modified with functional groups, such as carboxylic acid or amine groups, to improve their adhesion to the substrate and improve their barrier properties. PFAS coatings, on the other hand, have been shown to be effective in improving the heat sealability of paper and paperboard packaging. PFAS coatings can also be modified with other polymers or additives, such as ethylene vinyl acetate, EVA, or polyethylene glycol, PEG, to improve their barrier properties and adhesion to the substrate. In addition to their usage as coatings, PA and POTS can also be used as adhesives in the packaging industry. PA adhesives, for example, are commonly used in the production of corrugated boxes and paper bags. POTS adhesives are also used in a range of applications, including bookbinding, laminating, and woodworking. While the usage of PA and POTS in the packaging industry is widespread, there are also concerns about their environmental impact. The production and disposal of these materials can contribute to environmental pollution and waste management challenges. To address these concerns, there are ongoing efforts to develop more sustainable and environmentally friendly packaging materials, as well as to promote recycling and reuse of PA and POTS coated packaging products. In addition to their industrial, biomedical, and packaging applications, PA and POTS also have potential applications in the field of art conservation. These materials have been studied for their potential use as adhesives, consolidants, and coatings in the conservation of cultural heritage objects, such as paintings, sculptures, and textiles. PA, for example, has been used as a consolidant for paintings and sculptures due to its ability to penetrate and strengthen fragile and deteriorated surfaces. Chemical reactions and manufacturing processes in the industrial production and use of polymeric materials such as polyethylene and polypropylene. Chemical reactions and production processes play a crucial role in the manufacturing and usage of various polymer materials, such as polyethylene, P, and polypropylene, PP. These materials are widely used in a range of industrial applications, including packaging, automotive, and construction. Polyethylene, also known as polythene, is a thermoplastic polymer that is produced through the polymerization of ethylene monomers. This process can be carried out in a range of methods, including high-pressure and low-pressure polymerization. High-pressure polymerization involves the use of a free radical initiator, such as oxygen or peroxide, to polymerize the ethylene monomers at high pressure and temperature. Low-pressure polymerization, on the other hand, involves the use of a catalyst, such as a chromium or titanium compound, to polymerize the ethylene monomers at low pressure and temperature. The resulting P polymer can be further modified or processed to enhance its properties and performance in specific applications. For example, the addition of additives, such as antioxidants or UV stabilizers, can improve the material's resistance to degradation and weathering. P can also be blended with other polymers or additives, such as ethylene vinyl acetate, EVA, or calcium carbonate, to modify its properties and appearance. Polypropylene, also known as PP, is a thermoplastic polymer that is produced through the polymerization of propylene monomers. This process involves the use of a catalyst, such as a Ziegler-Natta catalyst or a metallocene catalyst, to polymerize the propylene monomers. The resulting PP polymer has excellent stiffness, impact resistance, and chemical resistance, making it ideal for use in a range of applications. PP can also be further modified or processed to enhance its properties and performance in specific applications. For example, the addition of glass fibers or talc can improve the material's stiffness and dimensional stability. PP can also be blended with other polymers or additives, such as polyethylene or rubber, to modify its properties and appearance. Once produced, P and PP can be further processed and fabricated into a range of products, including films, fibers, and molded products. These products can be used in a range of applications, including packaging, automotive, and construction. In the packaging industry, P and PP are commonly used in the production of films, bags, and containers. These materials have excellent barrier properties, can be easily processed and fabricated, and are cost-effective. In the automotive industry, PP is commonly used in the production of interior and exterior parts, such as dashboards and bumpers, due to its stiffness and impact resistance. In the construction industry, P and PP are used in the production of pipes, insulation, and roofing materials due to their durability and resistance to weathering and corrosion. While the production and usage of P and PP have many benefits, there are also environmental and health considerations that must be taken into account. The production and disposal of these materials can contribute to environmental pollution and waste management challenges. In addition, the potential impact of these materials on human health, such as their potential to leach harmful chemicals into food or water, must also be carefully considered. To address these concerns, ongoing research and development efforts are working to develop more sustainable and environmentally friendly production and disposal practices, as well as to develop new polymer materials that are less harmful to human health and the environment. In addition to their usage in industrial applications, P and PP also have potential applications in the biomedical and healthcare fields. These materials have shown promise as biomaterials for use in medical devices and implants, as well as in drug delivery systems. P, in particular, has been extensively studied for its biomedical applications due to its biocompatibility and ability to be processed into various forms, such as films or fibers. P films, for example, have been used as coatings for medical implants, such as artificial joints, to improve their biocompatibility and prevent inflammation or rejection by the body. P fibers have also been used in the development of tissue engineering scaffolds, which can be used to repair or replace damaged tissues or organs. PP, on the other hand, has been studied for its potential use as a material for drug delivery systems. PP nanoparticles, for example, have been shown to be effective carriers for a range of drugs, including anti-cancer agents and antibiotics. PP nanoparticles can be further functionalized with targeting molecules, such as antibodies or peptides, to improve their specificity and efficacy in delivering drugs to specific cells or tissues. While the potential biomedical and healthcare applications of P and PP are promising, there are also challenges to their usage in these fields. For example, the long-term stability and compatibility of these materials with the human body must be carefully considered. as well as their potential to degrade or release harmful chemicals over time. In addition, the potential impact of these materials on the environment and waste management must also be taken into account. To address these challenges, ongoing research and development efforts are working to develop new, innovative biomaterials and drug delivery systems that are more compatible with the human body and less harmful to the environment. These efforts are also working towards developing more sustainable and environmentally friendly production and disposal practices for these materials. In addition to their usage in industrial and biomedical applications, P&PP also have potential applications in the development of sustainable materials and solutions for a range of environmental challenges. P&PP are both highly recyclable materials, and recycling efforts for these materials have been increasing in recent years. Recycled P&PP can be used in a range of applications, including packaging, construction, and automotive industries. The use of recycled P&PP can help to reduce waste and conserve natural resources, as well as reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with the production of new materials. In addition to recycling, P&PP can also be used in the development of biodegradable or compostable materials. For example, P can be modified with biodegradable additives, such as starch or polylactic acid, PLA, to create a biodegradable material that can break down in the environment over time. PP can also be modified with biodegradable additives, such as polycaprolactone (PCl), to create a compostable material that can be broken down in a composting facility. P&PP can also be used in the development of sustainable solutions for environmental challenges, such as marine pollution. For example, P&PP can be used in the development of biodegradable fishing nets and other fishing gear, which can reduce the amount of plastic waste in the oceans and protect marine life. While the development of sustainable materials and solutions using P&PP is promising, there are also challenges to their usage in these fields. For example, the development of biodegradable or compostable materials using these materials must carefully consider the long-term stability and compatibility of the new materials with the environment. In addition, the development of sustainable solutions for environmental challenges must consider the potential impact of these solutions on other aspects of the environment or society. To address these challenges, ongoing research and development efforts are working to develop new and innovative materials and solutions that are more sustainable and environmentally friendly. These efforts are also working towards promoting more sustainable production and consumption practices, as well as improving waste management and recycling infrastructure. In addition to their usage in industrial, biomedical, and sustainable applications, P&PP also have potential applications in the development of advanced materials and technologies. P&PP can be modified with different chemical groups or functionalized with nanoparticles to create materials with unique properties and functions. Technology for the production and use of flame-retardant materials, including materials such as polybrominated diphenyl ethers, PBT, and tetrabromobisphenol A, TPA. Fire safety is a crucial concern in many industries, including construction, transportation, and electronics. The development and usage of flame-retardant materials have played a critical role in improving fire safety and reducing the risk of fire-related accidents. One type of flame-retardant material is polybrominated diphenyl ethers, PBS. PBS are a class of chemicals that are commonly used as flame retardants in a range of products, including electronics, furniture, and textiles. PFAS work by inhibiting the combustion process and slowing down the spread of flames. While PFAS have been effective in improving fire safety, concerns have been raised about their potential impact on human health and the environment. PFAS are persistent organic pollutants that can accumulate in the environment and in the food chain. They have been linked to a range of health effects, including developmental and neurological disorders, thyroid disruption, and cancer. As a result, there has been a shift towards the development and usage of alternative flame retardant materials, such as tetrabromobisphenol A, TBA. TBA is a brominated flame retardant that is commonly used in electronics, such as circuit boards and computer components. TBA works by releasing bromine atoms when exposed to heat, which can inhibit the combustion process and slow down the spread of flames. While PFAS is considered to be less harmful than PFAS, concerns about its potential impact on human health and the environment have also been raised. PFAS has been found in environmental samples, such as soil and water, and has been linked to developmental and neurological effects in animal studies. To address these concerns, ongoing research and development efforts are working towards the development of new and innovative flame retardant materials that are less harmful to human health and the environment. These efforts include the development of bio-based and renewable flame retardant materials, such as cellulose-based materials and lignin-based materials, as well as the use of nanotechnology to improve the performance and efficiency of flame retardant materials. In addition to the development of new flame retardant materials, there are also efforts to improve the production and disposal practices for these materials. The production of flame retardant materials can result in the release of harmful chemicals and waste, which can contribute to environmental pollution and waste management challenges. The disposal of flame retardant materials can also pose a risk to human health and the environment, as these materials can leach into the soil and water and contaminate the food chain. To address these challenges, ongoing research and development efforts are working towards the development of more sustainable and environmentally friendly production and disposal practices for flame retardant materials. These efforts include the use of green chemistry principles, such as the reduction of hazardous chemicals and waste, as well as the development of new recycling technologies for flame retardant materials. One promising area of research in the development of flame retardant materials is the use of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology involves the manipulation of materials at the nanoscale level, which can result in materials with unique properties and functions. Nanotechnology can be used to improve the performance and efficiency of flame retardant materials by increasing their surface area and reactivity. For example, nanoparticles of metal oxides, such as alumina and silica, can be added to flame retardant materials to improve their thermal stability and inhibit the combustion process. In addition, nanotechnology can also be used to develop new types of flame retardant materials, such as graphene-based materials. Graphene is a two-dimensional material made of carbon atoms arranged in a hexagonal lattice. Graphene has excellent mechanical, thermal, and electrical properties, which make it a promising material for a range of applications, including flame retardant materials. Graphene-based flame retardant materials have been shown to be effective in inhibiting the combustion process and reducing the release of toxic gases and smoke. Graphene can also be functionalized with other materials, such as metal oxides and polymers, to enhance its flame retardant properties and tailor its performance for specific applications. While the use of nanotechnology in the development of flame retardant materials is promising, there are also challenges to its implementation and adoption. These include the scalability and cost-effectiveness of nanotechnology-based approaches, as well as the potential impact of these materials on human health and the environment. To address these challenges, ongoing research and development efforts are working towards the development of more scalable and cost-effective approaches to nanotechnology-based flame retardant materials. These efforts also include the investigation of the potential environmental and health impacts of these materials, as well as the development of sustainable production and disposal practices. In addition to the development of new flame retardant materials, there are also efforts to improve the testing and regulation of these materials. The testing and regulation of flame retardant materials are critical to ensure their safety and efficacy in reducing the risk of fire-related accidents. One challenge in the testing of flame retardant materials is the lack of standardized testing methods. Different countries and regions may have different testing requirements and standards, which can make it difficult to compare the performance of different flame retardant materials. To address this challenge, ongoing efforts are working towards the development of standardized testing methods for flame retardant materials. These efforts include the development of international standards, such as those developed by the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, which aim to harmonize testing requirements and improve the comparability of test results. In addition to the development of standardized testing methods, there are also efforts to improve the regulation of flame retardant materials. The regulation of flame retardant materials can help to ensure their safety and efficacy while also promoting sustainability and environmental protection. One example of this is the European Union's registration, evaluation, authorization, and restriction of chemicals (REACH) regulation, which aims to ensure the safe use of chemicals in the EU. REACH requires companies to provide information on the properties and hazards of the chemicals they produce, including flame retardant materials, and to take measures to manage the risks associated with these chemicals. While the development of standardized testing methods and the regulation of flame retardant materials are important steps towards improving fire safety, there are also challenges to their implementation and adoption. These include the need for collaboration and coordination among different countries and regions, as well as the need for more comprehensive and effective regulation. To address these challenges, ongoing efforts are working towards the development of more collaborative and coordinated approaches to the testing and regulation of flame retardant materials. These efforts also include the investigation of the potential environmental and health impacts of these materials, as well as the development of sustainable production and disposal practices. Another important aspect of the development and use of flame retardant materials is their impact on waste management and recycling. Flame retardant materials can pose challenges to waste management and recycling, as they can be difficult to dispose of safely and effectively. For example, some flame retardant materials can release harmful chemicals when incinerated, which can contribute to air pollution and pose a risk to human health. In addition, some flame retardant materials can be difficult to recycle, as they can interfere with the performance of recycled materials or contaminate the recycling stream.